Good morning, everyone. I am meteorologist James Longwith with Dynamic Weather Agency, and again, I got another great video for you guys today. We're going to be talking about that major winter storm that's going to be impacting parts of the central Great Plains and the upper Midwest. We're also going to be talking about some severe weather that's going to affect parts of the Gulf Coast states and even into parts of the Piedmont Valley and Mid-Atlantic. But before we could get into today's video, be sure to hit that like button down below, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, if you haven't already, check us out on social media and at our website, dynamicweatheragency.com. All the links and stuff will be down in the description. And if you guys haven't already checked out our Patreon page, we have quite a few different tiers and membership levels for you guys to choose from, ranging all the way from $1 to $20, with channel and page sponsors costing $100 per month. If you want to check out the descriptions in there and see all the different perks you can get, be sure to check out our Patreon page. Link is down in the description below. I continue to add more information for you guys. This is going to help fund storm chasing trips and videos like you see down below me as some of our chase footage. That's also going to fund some of our research, and with the increased traffic flow to our website as I make some of my private weather consulting stuff that was behind a paywall public to you guys, that's going to increase operating costs for our website. So anything you guys can donate to us on our Patreon page to help show us that support will be greatly appreciated. So taking a look at our current national Doppler radar, this is our live Doppler. We see that low pressure system that was off the west coast has tracked its way a little bit further south and is now continuing to push some moisture off on the California west coast. We see some snowfall up in the mountainous regions in California due to some orographic lift. We also see some snow occurring in the Four Corners region. There's a low pressure system that's beginning to develop in southwestern Colorado. This is going to be our snowmaker for our winter storm. And that low pressure system that was over Iowa yesterday and Missouri, that was causing some of that snowfall up in the upper Midwest, where we had some snow in Wisconsin yesterday, has now pushed off to the north and to the east, is now over Ontario, and is bringing snowfall to parts of the to the northeast territories, with snow occurring in parts of northeastern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire. But first, before we could go any farther into this video, I do want to warn you guys about some posts that you might start seeing on social media and Facebook, especially from this page right here. If we take a look at his post that he's been posting online, he's talking about a monstrous deadly blizzard to impact parts of Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, starting the 29th and lasting until the 30th, dropping 1 to 2 feet of heavy snow across the region. This page is ran by someone who is not a meteorologist, and this wording and these type of posts right here are basically just to get likes and shares, as this post has been shared over 12,000 times with over 1,000 comments and I think about 700 or 800 likes on this post. When you check out the about information on this page, you can see the other pages this person runs, and you can also see his website is the antiagingking.com. He claims that he's a 52-year-old who has created the most powerful anti-aging program in the world. I don't know about you, but I don't think I want to be taking my weather information from someone who is an anti-aging person. That's like going to the doctor but having a car mechanic give you your medical exam. It's someone who's not specialized in that field, as in someone like myself. Now you guys might be wondering, what makes me any different? None of you guys know who I am. Well, I'm James Longwith. I'm a graduate from Ball State University. Graduated with not one, but 2 degrees, one in professional meteorology and one in Geographic Information Systems, or GIS. While I was at Ball State, I helped Ball State become a StormReady university. I also was the director of the Ball State University Storm Chase team, as shown on the right. Our Storm Chase team won of the years out on a chase in northern Illinois. I also received the Dave M. Odom Award for Excellence in Service in Meteorology and Climatology. I also am a professional storm chaser and a consulting meteorologist with Dynamic Weather Agency. Tracked over 40 tornadoes, a couple of tropical systems. You can find my footage on Good Morning America, the Weather Channel, and on the Weather Channel's hit series World Wildest Weather, where I was on their documentary. And my footage is also seen on many other national and local news agencies. I also am a weather forecaster for the United States Air Force at the 28th Operational Weather Squadron. So what has happened in the last 24 hours? Yesterday we were talking about some snowfall occurring in parts of the upper Midwest in Wisconsin. Taking a closer look at Wisconsin, we can see that Green Bay saw about 4.3 inches of snow, and the Packers were playing yesterday. I don't know who won that game. I didn't pay attention, but they were playing in the snow yesterday, and I saw them, trying to maintain the field in that heavy snow. Madison, Wisconsin saw 1.5 inches of snow. Minneapolis saw 1.4 inches of snow. As we take a look at the National Weather Service's current hazards, we see quite a big swath of winter weather advisories in effect already for that major winter storm that's going to be coming on through, with some winter storm watches and winter storm warnings already in effect for portions of Iowa and parts of northwestern Illinois and southwestern Wisconsin. We also see those winter weather advisories in some of that Four Corners region and in the Rocky Mountains, with that low pressure system that is kind of pushing on through that area, and of course some winter storm warnings with some of those higher elevations and the snow occurring in California. So as we take a look at the surface charts, these are forecasted surface charts. We see that snowfall that's going to continue across parts of the Four Corners region with that low that's beginning to develop. This low pressure system is going to continue to deepen as it tracks to the north and to the east, bring mixed precipitation and snowfall to the central Great Plains. That system is going to track up into the upper Great Plains and upper Midwest region. You see that mixed precipitation tracking all the way up to Illinois and Indiana. As we move into the 31st, we see a new low pressure system that's going to begin to develop off the Gulf Coast. This is going to bring another round of wintry precipitation, some mixed precipitation to Illinois and Indiana and Missouri, with some snowfall occurring in Oklahoma. This is going to again track to the north and to the east, bring some snowfall to some of the regions further south than where we're going to show in our snowfall forecast chart, because our chart's going to go 48 hours out, and we'll probably see some of this system in tomorrow's video. But this system is going to bring some severe weather to the Gulf Coast region in the southeast, and this low is going to track to the north and east, and then bring some severe weather on Friday to the Piedmont Valley and the Carolina region. Not only is snowfall going to be a major impact with this event, taking a look at total forecast accumulated ice, you can see a lot of accumulated ice fall occurring in Kansas, parts of Missouri, Iowa, and Illinois, with some trace icing occurring in parts of northern Indiana and southern Michigan. This is going to create slippery and hazardous road conditions. All right, so taking a look at our high-resolution futurecast radar, we see some of that wintry precipitation occurring across the Four Corners region. That low-pressure system that's down there is going to continue to deepen and develop as it moves into the central Great Plains, bring some wintry precipitation, snowfall, and mixed precipitation to the central Great Plains. That's going to continue to move off to the north and to the east, impacting parts of the upper Great Plains and upper Midwest into the Great Lakes region, with that freezing precipitation occurring all the way from Kansas all the way up into Illinois and Indiana, with snowfall occurring across much of the central Great Plains and upper Midwest and Great Lakes region. Rain beginning to transition to most of the Ohio and Tennessee Valley and upper Mississippi Valley region on Wednesday morning, but that's going to begin to transfer into some wintry mix on Thursday. And this new low pressure system that's going to begin to develop along the Gulf Coast is going to bring another round of wintry of some freezing rain and some snowfall to the central Great Plains and upper Midwest as the system moves off to the north and to the east. It will also create impacts into the Northeast territories. So as we take a look at the European model is actually on the lower end of the snowfall total spectrum, with a swath of 8 to basically 9 inches of snow occurring across central and eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, and extreme northwestern Illinois. But as we take a look at the GFS has kind of that similar track, with the snowfall totals occurring a little bit further south than what we think. We think the system is going to track a little bit further to the north, but We can see higher snowfall totals with a swath of basically 8 to 12 inches of snow across this region. We think 8 inches, a 5 to 8 inches area with some isolated 12 inches is basically what we're going to see. But you can see the GFS is expecting to see areas with isolated up to 15 inches of snow. And the GFS is following a similar track of that European model as of right now. But as we take a look at our National Weather Service blend of models, we see the swath is more of a 5 to 8 inches swath of snow. This is also tracked just a little bit further north into Wisconsin than the other models, has it a little bit further south, both the GFS and the Euro. But the National Weather Service blend of models has a little bit more of a northern tilt to that snow swath. As we take a look at the NAM is also agreeing that a little bit more northern tilt. They have a swath of 6 to basically that swath of 5 to 10 inches of snow, as in what the European model was showing, with some isolated areas probably seeing a foot of snow. And as we take a look at the UK Met, it's got that a little bit further southward track, as in the GFS and the Euro. Again, big swath of 5 to 12 inches of snow expected across the region. So you take a look at the National Weather Service's forecast. This is their 48-hour snowfall forecast accumulation chart. They have that swath of snowfall, 5 to 8 inches, central, eastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin, with it possibly tracking through central Wisconsin as it goes, as the system continues just a little bit farther past their 48-hour forecast hour. Taking a look at WSSI day 1 through 3 overall winter impacts, we can see we have mostly moderate impacts, with some areas seeing some major impacts, basically due to the snowfall accumulation amounts being greater than 6 inches, where areas able to see probably 8 inches of snowfall within some of the stronger bands of this system. So as we take a look at our winter weather risk analysis, confidence remains moderate as our last video for significant snowfall or a winter storm to occur on Tuesday and Wednesday, with heavy snowfall most likely across parts of Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Snowfall amounts of 4 to 8 inches are likely across parts of northern Nebraska, northern Iowa, southeastern South Dakota, southern Minnesota, and central Wisconsin, with isolated areas able to see 8 inches plus to up to about a foot of snow possible in northern Iowa and central Wisconsin. Snowfall rates may exceed 1 inch an hour. This, with a combination of some gusty winds, may lead to travel disruptions and hazardous travel, along with some of those icy conditions. As mentioned, freezing rain is going to be possible from eastern Kansas through southeastern Nebraska, through northern Missouri into Iowa and Illinois, and even parts of northern Indiana, where they can see ice accumulation of greater than 1/10 of an inch is possible. So you look at our 3-day risk levels. Tuesday, major, as noted by the WSSI. Day 1 through 3, threat index on Tuesday, we can see major impacts due to the snowfall. On Wednesday, moderate impacts, again due to snowfall. And Tuesday, minor impacts, again due to snowfall. For our winter weather threats, our highest threat is going to be snowfall. Again, with those snowfall amounts of 4 to 8 inches, with isolated areas of seeing 8 inches plus. Slight impacts for freezing rain and ice accretion. Again, we're going to see that occurring all the way from Kansas all the way up and through Nebraska, Missouri, into Iowa, Illinois, and even parts of northern Indiana, with, again, some ice accretion of 1/10 of an inch or greater. Winds, slight. We're going to have some gusty winds on the backside of this low that could create some blizzard-like conditions. Not blizzard conditions, but blizzard-like conditions. And I'm going to put an emphasis on blizzard-like conditions and not blizzard conditions yet. Basically, it's hard to meet blizzard conditions. Blizzard conditions, basically the definition is wind speeds sustained or frequent gusts of greater than 35 miles per hour, with considerable falling or blowing snow to reduce visibility to under 1/4 mile. But these conditions must last for 3 consecutive hours. Now, we could see some reduced visibility. We could see those gusty winds. We see by the models, we're seeing anywhere from 25 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts on the backside of this low. But will that meet that 3-hour criteria? That I don't know yet. That's something we'll have to monitor within the next couple of days. That's why we're going to say blizzard-like conditions, not blizzard conditions. Taking a closer look at our snowfall map, we might see an isolated area of 5 to 8 inches of snow in northern Nebraska and southern South Dakota. But again, we're going to see that swath of 5 to 8 inches of snow stretching from central and eastern Iowa into central and southern Wisconsin. We can see some isolated areas, and they're seeing up to about 12 inches of snow wherever that strong frontogenesis band and that strong ascent up in that warm sector with the moisture riding over the warm front. As we take a look at severe weather risk, as we were talking about, we could see some severe weather Thursday and Friday, some severe weather down affecting Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama on Thursday with that low pressure system moving up into the Piedmont and Carolina region, affecting parts of eastern Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina on Friday. The primary threats for this event is going to be some tornadoes and damaging wind gusts. Hail is not going to be a threat with these systems, and of course some flooding with some heavy rainfall with this system. So taking a look at ingredients needed for severe weather, one, we need to look at wind shear. Wind shear is basically the change in wind speed and or direction with winds with height. Next thing we're going to look for is atmospheric lift. This is going to be some type of boundary, whether this be a front, a dry line, something topographic such as a mountain, or something as simple as a shortwave. Next thing we're going to look at is instability. This is basically going to tell us how strong storms can get and how much energy they can feed off of. And then moisture is also going to be another source of fuel and is also going to be needed to make clouds form. Now taking a look at severe weather, we're mostly going to focus on the event on Thursday. We're not going to worry about the event on Friday yet just because it's outside of the NAM forecast model right now, and we can only use the GFS model, and the GFS is a non-convective allowing model while the NAM is, and the NAM is a more high resolution model. We're just going to take a look at the severe weather threat for the for the Gulf Coast region affecting Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. I will touch just a hint on some of the setups that we can see already going on for the Piedmont Valley and Mid-Atlantic and Carolina region, but we're mostly going to focus on the severe weather event on Thursday. So taking a look off at the Gulf Coast region, we see southeasterly winds, basically evacuating some warm, moist, unstable air into the region. Just taking a look up at the Carolina region, we have this nice area of high pressure over the Atlantic. We have this nice southeasterly winds, again also evacuating some warm, moist, unstable air into the Piedmont and Carolina region for the severe weather on Friday. Now this moisture down here is going to interact with a surface boundary that's going to provide some lift, and then that boundary is going to move off to the north and to the east. That's going to provide some lift with a moist, unstable air mass that is going to be located over the Piedmont Valley region. Taking a look at our jet stream, we have this nice subtropical ridge moving in, nice dip of the polar front jet that's creating this nice area of shared energy down here with a nice jet max that's moving through the region. We see some diffluent flow ahead that's providing some upper level support and some exhaust with divergence aloft. As we look at 500 millibars vorticity, we see a nice 500 millibar trough with some vorticity at the base of the trough with a short wave moving through that's going to enhance upward vertical motion and lift and cyclonic spin in the region. As we look at our CAPE, which is a measure of convective available potential energy, which also is basically a measure of buoyancy in the atmosphere, we do see this nice plume of instability beginning to peek its way back into the southeast to the southern Gulf Coast states. And taking a look at lifted index, basically we're seeing lifted indice values of -3 to -6 degrees Celsius. This is the change of temperature from a parcel to the 500 millibar temperature observed on a sounding, as in this would be a forecast sounding, basically showing that we have a moderately unstable environment across the region, and this instability is going to provide fuel for thunderstorms and basically provide some of that energy needed as noted by our ingredients. Taking a look at our shear factor, looking at bulk shear, we see bulk shear values around basically 50 knots or greater over the Gulf Coast region. This is going to again push up off into the Piedmont Valley region over the next day. And taking a look at our crossover winds down in the Gulf Coast region, we see at the surface, according to the red bar, we see about 10 to 15 knot surface winds from the southeast. And as we take a look a little bit higher up at 500 millibars, we see anywhere from 40 to 70 knots of a low-level jet moving on into the region. That is from the southwest, indicating we have that change of direction of winds with height, and we also have that speed shear moving across the region. So taking a look at our setup, we have moderate lift, moderate instability across the region. Taking a look at our CAPE and our lifted indices, the shear value is going to be high. That's typical for these winter events to be kind of that lower CAPE, high shear. This is going to create a moderate tornado threat with hail going to be relatively low, just because there's just not enough. The hail growth region is not supportive of hail growth. And then moderate for winds, just due to those strong winds aloft that could mix its way down to the surface, creating some damaging wind gusts. That's going to bring an overall threat of slight. We could see this brought up into an enhanced level, an enhanced risk by the SPC, but it's too early to tell that from right now. But as of right now, we're going to basically put these 2 days as a slight risk issued by the Storm Prediction Center. That is our prediction, with a possibility of becoming an enhanced risk, especially on Thursday down in the southeast region, just due to the directional and speed shear that can possibly allow for more tornadoes down there compared to the severe weather event we see as the system moves up into the Piedmont Valley and Mid-Atlantic region. Well, that concludes today's video. I thank you guys for checking this out. Be sure to, like I said, like and subscribe to this page. Also share this video, and be sure to check out our Patreon, visit us on social media, and check us out on our website. Signing out, I'm meteorologist James Longwith. Have a good afternoon and rest of your evening.